Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Super excited to be with you tonight. As you're hopping on, please drop where it is you're coming in from so we can give you a shout out. I know we've got some people following us from all over the world, had some great conversations this week.
Yep.
I want to make sure that we're giving you a shout out.
Yeah. Let us know, like she said, where you're coming in from, so we know kind of what part of the world you're coming in from.
Yes. And tonight, you guys, we're going to be talking about some not so pretty truths that we've learned during our nighttime routine, and how you can avoid it in your business, okay? Kind of an interesting aha that kind of happened to us a couple days ago we wanted to share with you.
Exactly.
So you guys, if we have not met before, I am Becky Graff.
And I'm Tim Graff.
And we help home business entrepreneurs leverage powerful internet strategies so that they can build the perfect lifestyle business. We are currently building our own business, and so we're right there in the trenches with you, bringing to you behind-the-scenes information and up-to-date stuff that's working for us in our business, and also helping you overcome some struggles that maybe you're having that we have as well.
Absolutely.
Okay? So as we get started tonight, you guys, nighttime routines. If you have children, speaking of the children, they're knocking upstairs. If you have a nighttime routine and it gets to be towards that time, an hour or two before bedtime, and things start to go a little bit south, kids get extra thirsty, World War III breaks out.
Isn't it interesting how they seem to be in a great mood all day long, and then it's like as soon as you mention bedtime,
things change.
Everything blows up, right?
And I want to bring this up because it was something that was so pivotal, and it just kind of smacked me between the eyes a little bit because nighttime routine at our house, you guys, just unfortunately, to be honest with you, is not always smooth. Okay, we have kids. We've got a 2.5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they don't want to go to bed for school. They want to stay up all night. They're party animals, and they just don't want to wind down, right? There's too much stuff going on. They just want to see and be involved with a lot of things. And here's the issue. Me, being the person that I am, I have a very set schedule as far as we need to have dinner done by this time so that we can have, dinner cleaned up. Kids can be in the pajamas, teeth brushed.
And we're used to following within our business. We have set, certain
time blocks,
right?
My schedule is time blocked, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We have calls that we're dealing with all day long, and so they're timed in. This one's going to end at this time. And now, there's a little bit of flexibility in that, as sometimes those calls go a little bit longer than we expect, and so we have a little bit of flex time in there. But for the most part, in our business, we do the best that we can to schedule out our day. And so when it comes to that nighttime routine and suddenly it all blows up, it kind of doesn't...
It can be a little bit stressful, let's be honest, okay?
Exactly.
You've got a certain task that you need to have accomplished by a specific time, and it doesn't happen because something happens. Speaking of. So what happens? Okay, nighttime routine is we have, kids need to be in bed by 8:30 at the latest so that they can get enough sleep for school the next day. And I noticed as I was putting my kids to bed, like nighttime routines for us sometimes are just not happy. I'm stressed out, they're stressed out. There's not a lot of happiness and harmony because I am very, very focused on what needs to happen and that this needs to happen now so that we can continue with the rest of the routine. So the kids are in bed, so they can be up on time, so they can get the sleep that they need, so we can have breakfast before school, right? All of these things. And I found myself laying in bed next to my 2.5-year-old, helping her fall asleep a couple nights ago, and it hit me like, I am like trying to hammer a square peg into a round hole. What is happening now has not been effective. It's not working. Me pushing the issue and like being, for lack of a better word, like very strict about, okay, you're done with your food, put your stuff in the sink, go brush your teeth, like right? The checklist was not effective. And yet I was attempting to round this home with my 7 and 7-year-old and 2.5-year-old, that these tasks do need to get done. It wasn't something that is just, it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen, right? It does need to happen for various reasons. However, I was very certain that the process in which I was using was the way it needed to be. And as I'm laying in bed with my 2.5-year-old Ellie, it hit me like, you are so certain that this process is working, and yet as I'm evaluating it in my head, it's not.
It's so not working.
The fact that they're in bed and they're still alive was about the only thing that was working really about the situation.
Exactly.
And so it honestly, it took me back a little bit because how often are we very certain about the tactics that we're using in our business? How certain are we about the business that we're in? How certain are we about certain assumptions that we have about our upline or downline or cross lines?
Yep.
How certain are we about the methods in which we are using in our business? Are we certain about them? Are we sure that this is the thing that we need to be doing, and we are so focused on that thing that we can't see the forest for the trees?
Yep.
Okay? A lot of times this is what happens when we become hyper focused on something. We're
Yeah,
certain.
and certainty comes from a place of a solution. Okay, you're
One.
focused on one thing. You're certain that that's the path,
That's
that
it.
is the way,
Yep.
or that is the answer, right? And so we're so focused on that we cannot see other options. We don't get resourceful, and we can't, kind of follow the path or whatever path that we need to get the best outcome. We're just so focused on that one thing that we're blind to everything else. And a lot of times we're so focused that we go to that one thing, and we know it's going to work.
It's got to
until
work,
it doesn't,
right?
right?
It should work.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how many other people, hey Tom,
Hey,
thanks
Tom.
for hopping on.
Thanks for hopping on, man.
We have seen so many other people that are doing the same thing, right? We've seen multiple people online. They've got all these different courses, and all these things are working for them. So when we're doing it, we're focused in that this
Yep.
is the way it has to be.
Yeah, we jump
This
in
is
their
how it
course and
needs
like,
to
okay,
be.
it's working for them, so we are focused that is going to work for us as well.
Orlando today.
And the thing that we don't understand is what works for one person may not always work for others.
And with that, there are processes that you can follow that allows for different modeling inside of it,
Right.
tweaking for what works for you.
Yep.
We teach our students all the time as we are helping people with building their businesses that these are processes
Yep.
that we're teaching. These are guidelines.
Exactly.
Within those guidelines, they are not rules.
We
They
also-
are guidelines.
Yeah, we also teach that not to focus on one solution
Mm-hmm.
or to be certain on one thing. We want them to be resourceful,
What
right?
other things might you do?
Yeah.
Timothy says we are blindsided with tunnel vision. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Tunnel vision, I've heard it called navel gazing, right?
Yep.
We're so focused in
Yep.
on just one thing that we can't see anything else. There is nothing else for us to look at. And so it's, hopefully our live is still going on, you guys.
It
We just
says
had,
it is still.
okay, cool. All right, our computer, our phone just went crazy for a second. So we get super, super hyper focused on things. We
Yep.
are not able to see what the big picture is. Okay. So for my example with our kids, big picture is they need to be in bed. Okay. Telling them what to do and like doing the checklist has not been effective to this point with this new school season moving in. There's a bunch of roughness as you go off of summer schedule onto school set schedules.
Yep.
So I had to start thinking about what might I do a little bit more effectively, differently, that is going to get the result that we need, but is going to have a little bit more happiness and harmony in our home for us as parents and also for our kids, right? Same thing in your business. When you are working on certain things, we may get tunnel vision on one specific thing that we need to be doing. And we may be negating and not looking at the big picture. What is actually happening with our ecosystem online? Is just running an ad what's going to get us what we need? Is that the only thing we need to be working on? Or do we need to make sure that we're engaging with our audience, make sure that we're doing our Facebook Lives, that we're sending out our emails, okay, depending on what the purpose and the process that you're using, right? There is
We all
more
have
to
that
it.
end result, and there are many different ways to reach that end result,
Yep.
right? There's many different tools and systems and different things that we can use to reach that end result.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if the more we can put in play, the more of those tools that we can utilize, you're going to have a better outcome. You're
Yes.
going to get there quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing is, if one of them doesn't work,
You've got others to fall
you
back
have
on,
others.
right?
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of building your business on social media
Yeah.
is because you do have so many avenues in which to reach out and connect with people.
Right.
Okay. It used to be in the old school way that you'd go out prospect belly to belly. It was one-to-one. Now you have the ability to reach one-to-many and on multiple levels. Messenger, Facebook, Facebook Lives, Instagram, Twitter, like all these different social platforms, and yet you can still tie them back to a central location.
Yep.
It is an ecosystem. It is not just a one and done, one-off conversation that you have with people.
Exactly.
You have the ability, so long as you're being clear and not certain and looking outside the box, there are multiple ways that you can use and different things you can leverage to really maximize your results online. Tom says we must slice and dice to find what works for us. Absolutely.
Many ways to skin a cat. I like that.
Yes, there are many ways
There
to
are
skin
many
a cat.
ways.
I don't recommend doing it, but there are many ways. Just give me a hard time, Tom. Okay, so you guys, Remember, as you're building your business online, when you find yourself stuck and you're beating your head against the wall, take a step back. Pull the camera lens back and ask yourself, what else might I do?
Yeah, am I being certain? Am I certain that this is it? Or this is the path?
Start getting curious about it. Is there something else that you might do? And a lot of times, if you ask the question, what is something I might do that's completely different? You're going to start coming up with a lot of really great ideas that you can content dump, brain dump onto paper, and then start sifting through and asking yourself, okay, how might this work for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys, getting resourceful, actually finding many different solutions, it's about asking questions.
Absolutely.
It's about asking others questions and also taking a moment to step back and ask yourself questions.
Most importantly, yourself.
Yeah. You start with yourself, and if you can't seem to figure something out, ask others.
Yep.
Okay?
That's
where, a mentor comes into, handy, your upline, sideline, whoever it is that, is on the same path as you are. A lot of times if you ask questions just to others, you'll get feedback that a lot of times will spark something within yourself as well.
Yeah.
So it's about asking questions to get resourceful.
Absolutely. And you guys, if we have not met before and you haven't followed our page, go ahead and make sure that you like our page and mark to see first so you don't miss any of our trainings. We are coming at you live as we are in the trenches with you, helping you build your business, giving you tips that are helping us and also that might help you based on where we've been.
Exactly.
And we will be back with you guys next time with some more great tips, if I can speak, some great training tips. Again, you guys.
So make sure you guys are following us.
Yep. And if you're catching this on replay, #replay.
Yes. And if you guys got value out of this, please drop us a #value. We appreciate you being on, Timothy and Tom. And let's see who else hopped on here.
We had
everybody. We had a couple of people. Whoever, everybody else that hopped on, we appreciate you being here.
Tom says, "Enjoy your weekend." Yes.
Yes, Tom.
Enjoy
everybody.
yours as well. Appreciate
and
you being on
you guys, get resourceful, be bold, take action, and remember it's choice, not chance, that shapes your life.
Take care.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.